Hey everybody,
I'm Adam.
I'm Sam, and we are
Working Title. I don't know what to do.
Robot sounds.
Yeah, Mecha.
Guys, we're back with another opener reaction. This was literally decided like a couple minutes ago during the other reaction for Tokyo Ghoul. By the way, go check it out on Patreon. Exclusive. Will and Caleb have already seen. You already know what it is. Wait, let's just pretend we don't know what it is. Spin. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Anyway, Will and Caleb. Caleb's completely seen the show. I've completely seen all of the show. Will's seen the first 7, and Adam's brother has seen the first 7. Adam has never seen it.
Nothing.
Now, I'm not watching Evangelion today, but we are watching the OP for it. It's one of my personal favorites. I think it's iconic. It's super old. And the song is good, and I don't actually remember, because I listened to Eva, like the soundtrack in general. But just like OPs in general, we've talked about this before. Oh, you like
that looks cool, actually.
Yeah,
this is my first time seeing all of it.
Just like all the openers that me and Adam enjoy, sometimes there's full-length versions that I'm more accustomed to. So I can't remember if this one is like the full version. It is 2 minutes, so we're just gonna watch it just for the hell of it. But if you enjoy this, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comment section what kind of openers you might want to see. Obviously, this is like from the 80s, so there's no restraint on when the anime comes out, what type of anime fan base it has, how small or large the crowd is. Just let us know if you want us to watch it, and we'll eventually get around if we can. And yeah, if you want to see these early, we do drop these on Patreon for like the lowest tier, just for the fun of it. So do check that out if you want to be the first to see it, and we're gonna punch it. Love you guys.
Bah! Dude, Viz Media made Naruto.
They're banger.
Mm-hmm.
They're banger, dude. I love this. Here we go.
Whoa. The chakra tree.
Yep.
I already hear like Cowboy Bebop and like Pokemon.
I know, it has that like, it's that nostalgic factor, right?
Yeah. And Dragon Ball too.
Ah, yes, nudity.
Mm-hmm.
In the intro.
They're Barbie dolls. It's okay.
Oh, right. Sorry.
It's flat down there.
There we go.
That's not flat there.
No, nothing flat about that.
No. Okay, so it is a mecha.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen that.
That, the machine?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, baby. Jeez. It's like subliminal messaging. It's very quick, so I'm just gonna throw in the outro.
Yeah.
Just for the hell of it. I know that literally was like spastic and it's.
I think so. I saw my name flashed a lot, Adam.
Right. Adam. This Adam. Right. Yep. And then, and this doesn't change. I'm pretty sure this is just like the same one for all of them.
Slow gas.
It's very different from the opener. Just like Naruto, it's that square box screen. Yeah. Are you familiar with this song?
Wow, I just realized that's water up top there.
Yeah. Sometimes there's not much of a difference between space and the ocean. Now, funny enough, I don't actually think that's the song. That is the visual that accompanies the outro, but I don't think that's actually the song that plays during the show itself. So I'm just going to quickly go to the literal thing as we have Netflix right here, just to give you the real song, because that's not what the song was. And we'll go subscribe to Netflix if you want to watch Evangelion. A lot of shit, skip. Thought the song was different.
Oh.
It's a lot more moody than the jazz song.
I like it. I like it better than the other one.
I'm glad.
Damn, this makes me think of Westworld.
It's eerie as hell.
Wow,
It's
I like it.
super eerie.
That's another instrument I'd like to learn to play is the piano.
Dude,
It's
yes.
beautiful.
And it's so versatile. It's like half of Vinland's soundtrack. It's like most of Tokyo Ghoul's soundtrack. You notice the piano, like, ballads I've been getting?
Mm-hmm.
The piano's beautiful. I think most of the shows I love, whenever piano is brought in, Game of Thrones, like, they brought it into the very end. And when it was used...
Yeah, I want you guys to see the intro for Westworld. It's so good.
We can watch it one time. I don't know if the anime community cares, but I'll definitely watch it.
That's the other thing we should do is branch out and watch like actual shows, intros.
You know what show we're gonna be watching soon? Not you guys, but we're gonna be watching something eventually. But okay, I know the opener was literally chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to play it again, or you just want to freeball it? Because what do you know about the show? I know you know there's some like, wild things.
I know of Mecha, and then there's like the villains are called like angels. I think they're the bad guys. They're monsters. That's all. I know about the controversial ending that was switched to something else.
Right.
There's lots of. I want to say a religion is involved in this show. That's probably about it.
Okay. So that's honestly, I'd say that's pretty clean slate. That's pretty much like not knowing anything.
Yeah.
I mean that's like themes, and yeah, as you could see from Adam.
Yeah.
Not your Adam, but
I would imagine
the name Adam, one of supposedly the oldest.
The first
names.
man.
First man. We got people controlling suits.
And Eve is in the Evangelion, so I imagine there's an Eve somewhere.
Right. I mean, there's a bunch of symmetry you've already seen, like there are wings coming out of people.
Yeah.
The obvious term angels.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's the mechas that are called angels or it's the villains.
Right. Yeah,
I know you said the mechas they can only use for like a very short period of time. They tried to make it somewhat realistic if we actually had like mechas in the world.
Right.
Like it would require so much energy to use them. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of mecha. I'm glad you watched a mecha anime.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's not a great genre. The only one I've seen is Gurren Lagann. That's a mecha.
And you do like that?
I fucking love that anime.
Okay, I thought
a
so.
lot. Shout out Trigger.
Love that.
Yeah, no, it's so good.
Maybe that will be the next opener we watch because
so
like,
good.
I don't think you were here for the last. It was the last of us recording, but they were like, "Can we please just watch Gurren Lagann?" I was like, "Hey, okay, we got a lot of shows happening. If you want to edit that,
yeah,
feel free."
Yeah, that's a great anime.
That'd be a fun one to watch, perhaps. I like Evangelion a lot. It's very polarizing.
I don't know if I've met anybody else besides you who's watched it. Maybe Lucas's friend John.
It's old.
Because John is more of an anime guy than me.
Yeah.
Now he's more like manga than me too.
I'd say it's a bit like Death Note. Like, it's not that you can't find somebody that likes Death Note, but because it's aged, I mean, it's almost like Full Metal too, because Full Metal, people love it, right? People obviously love it. People love Death Note, obviously. But because we got Demon Slayer, AOT, JJK, Chainsaw Man, things that are popping off, when you go and to a convention, you're not really going to be seeing Light Yagami. You're not going to be... you might see some of these people, but you're really going to be seeing the ones that are trending and popular. But it doesn't mean that people don't love it or actively talk about it. But it's like Lord of the Rings. Where do you find people that talk about Lord of the Rings, right?
Dude, it's rare.
Right, but people definitely universally love it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'd say that's probably the same. Like, I would agree with you. I don't really know many people. I know a couple people on our Discord, and some of our top Patreon donators have talked to us about it. Like when me and Will were binging it.
Join our Patreon, by the way.
Yeah. Me and Caleb were binging it, but so I do know they exist. It's just like you got to talk about it. You know?
Yeah.
It's definitely, it has its crowd. I would love to meet some of the crowd because the show is, I'll say, it's very obtuse, very absurd. There is a lot of imagery. There's a lot of kind of having to. It forces the audience to work hard.
Yeah, and think.
It really forces you to work hard. It's a little, I'd say maybe sometimes too hard. Like, you don't get all the answers you want by the end. Mm-hmm. But I've found videos on YouTube that will go into, in the video games that might be extra lore. And this is also
video games.
Yep, and there's also multiple shows that may, and I won't put my 2 cents into this, but may or may not all be in the same universe. Kind of like spoiler for AMC if you MCU if you haven't seen Phase 4, but how the multiverse has now included the Fox movies, the X-Men and the Maguire Spider-Man, how initially they might have been perceived as separate, but now based off how the show ultimately goes, they might be in the same world. Mm-hmm. So, and I've only watched the original show, and there are other shows.
I didn't know that. I thought they were all remakes.
Well, so it's the most confusing set of production because they have the original 25 episodes, then they got a movie to give a new ending, or not even it might not contradict, but it just adds on for people who might not have been satisfied with the original ending, and that's about an hour, maybe 2 hours.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, and I fall into the crowd. I don't know if this is popular or unpopular. I fall into the crowd that loved the movie. I feel like the movie added a lot to my satisfaction ultimately. I still might not understand everything that I watched, but I still feel like it at least delivered on some big spectacle that I was waiting for in the build-up, where I thought the original finale, which funny enough Caleb loves. Caleb liked how the show finished, began, middle, and end, and completed. I did not like the original one. I thought it was a bit of a cop-out, but I was told that it was because there was a budget problem, so they had to kind of go...
Oh, damn.
Kind of go in that abstract, obtuse way to try to wrap up the story. And I think the actual writer was battling depression, and he did what he felt was a good ending, but because of the reception, he wanted to go and rewrite it and give a better outcome.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame.
But I get it.
And that's what happens sometimes. That's what people are trying to do with AOT.
Well, what you were saying with the whole budget thing, I'm glad that they actually just decided to finish the story. Most anime doesn't get finished.
Yeah.
It just ends up on a hiatus. Look at Hunter x Hunter. Look at fuck. Oh, that's gonna.
Didn't Tokyo? No.
Oh no! Blood Prison.
Blood Prison?
Oh no, what's it called?
Oh gosh. Blood Prison.
Oh, they'll know what I'm talking about.
You guys know.
It ended on a very shitty cliffhanger, and it's on hiatus. Never mind.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's all good. Well, leave in the comments if you understood Blood Prison, and let us know if you figured out the cryptic info, but... I know it's gonna bug you. You're like me. Yeah, and then as for the other shows, I don't really know where they place and the order in which they come out. But I literally, as I was watching the show, I was like, I need to see a time. What else comes after this? And apparently there was movies that came out in theaters that were
movies.
But it was more so you get to watch the previous episodes condensed in a movie format. They do the main scenes. Yeah, like Berserk. but just as convoluted. I'd say Evangelion is a little bit better only because it's finished. And
I'll tell you. Yeah. No, keep going.
No, that's it. It's just that it's finished.
Just because I said Berserk, I'm just thinking of all these really old anime that I've watched and just seeing like the nostalgic look of like an 80s anime. I'm thinking of Dragon Ball Z. I'm thinking of Gungrave. I'm thinking of Cowboy Bebop. It's
that's how I felt when I watched
such a good era.
When you guys showed me Naruto.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like so cool.
Yeah.
It almost feels like it's not that we grew up in that time because we're 90s kids. But at the same time, that was the next decade over, so whatever we consumed still had to do with this kind of era. Mm-hmm. So it still feels like returning to like childhood watching it. And I had a blast watching it. Even though Eva's really, it's weirdly structured because it's like a lie. You watch it and it seems like a very childish show, and yet there's weirdly placed adult content in it, and you're like, whoa, okay, that was weird. It almost like hits you like oh, Adam, pah! And then it's like, no, that didn't
jab,
happen. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. And it like builds you into this like, is there something going on? Mm-hmm. And they like throw little breadcrumbs here and there, and then like, dude, they have this incredible arc towards the end of the show. Like the last like 5 episodes are like straight fire, and then it hits you with this like weird like ending. You're like, what did I just watch?
I think I
know. And then the movie just takes that and just puts it on steroids for confusion, and then you're either left like Caleb and you're like, I'm out. I'm tapped out. Nope. I don't know what this is. I don't like it. Or you're just like me and like, I think I understand it. I think I like it. I think I'm enjoying this. And then you just left. Then it's just like, now you're abandoned.
Yeah.
You got punched, you got like loved on, you got thrown into a confusion prison, and then they escape. They ditch out. Peace. Leave you in the 80s, and that's Evangelion.
I was just thinking about that meme of like, it's from like a really old movie where a man is sleeping on the bed and the woman comes right next to him. Bah! Oh, are you okay?
It's literally that. It's that, but it's a little bit more disguised, so it's hard to analyze the punishment or the subliminal messaging.
Yeah.
I feel like the intro is a great way to explain that too, because it gives you this very exciting song, but they also have like this bit of creepy imagery creeping through, and you're not sure if it's creepy, but it's definitely there.
Mm-hmm. Man, I just want to do like an anime opening, but not like a show that has several. I just want us to put out a video that has a bunch of random openers.
I'm down, and we're probably gonna do that one day for like something more unknown anime, because we've been seeing a lot of comments that are like animes I feel like the majority of us have never heard of.
I've never heard. The first one we did, Re:Zero, I've never heard of that anime.
See, that has a crowd, but no, I'm talking about like the ones that literally like have like 20 names in it, and you're like, who even watches this? Because you have to like pronounce a whole paragraph before you even explain the anime name. So we might have to do that.
A lot of people talk about I Want to Eat Your Pancreas on Discord.
Isn't that a movie?
It's a movie, but I've never heard of that. Never heard of that.
We're just not cultured enough.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. Is we're not cultured enough. But I have seen Evangelion, so I have some credit. I haven't seen Pokemon. I haven't seen Dragon Ball.
Some Pokemon,
but
I prefer the video games.
Let us know, by the way, because we're probably wrapping up. Do you have any other thoughts?
The outros.
Right. Well, what do you think about those?
I like the second one better.
With the song.
The piano one versus the singing one.
Have you ever heard "Fly Me to the Moon"? Fly me to the moon.
I don't think so.
It's like, I think, that is like an 80s. I don't know who make that. I feel like, I think that's like a very well-known American song. Sorry, I'm not too familiar. Like I said, I wasn't growing up in that period, but it's like a very well-known song, and I don't know if, it's just like a featured song in general when movies take. I'm cutting all this out because I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Moving on. Fly Me to the Moon, but
Adam, who was it the whole time?
It was Frankie.
It was Frank Sinatra.
Oh, Blue Eyes.
Damn it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Just the way Sam sang it, I started to think, it sounds like Frankie.
No, I've been betrayed.
I agree. The second song with the piano is so much superior, and it works better with the show.
As I said during the reaction to it, piano is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'd like to learn to play it.
I'd say it's one of the easier instruments to pick up. I was able to. If I can do it, you might be able to.
Mm-hmm.
And I did 3 piano classes in high school. problem is didn't stay with it. And if you don't,
and the time, we don't have a whole lot of time.
Another thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, let us know what else you would want to see. It can be 80s nostalgia. It can be from the 90s. It can be from the 2030s.
Doesn't have to be anime either.
Just if you're in the future, send it to us. If you're from the Evangelion world and you've seen mechs fight angels and etc. Did we survive in the end? Also, we'll just see you in the next video. Love you guys. Punch it.
Bah!
Alright. That's